Facebook's telling me, reminder. Come on, I know what I'm doing, Facebook. What's up, guys? Welcome, historians. Welcome back to another great live episode of Historically Haunted Vodcast right here on Facebook Live, like you know. It's also sponsored for our third season right now by trucker Donnie Green. Donnie Green sent me a nice little care package for Christmas. He's going to be sponsoring season 4. Donnie Green was the truck driver in the original Pet Sematary that drove the red truck that killed Gage. Get the baby! But I love Donnie. He's a Maine boy. So thanks to Donnie, his trucking company with his wife. And shout out to his wife, Lori. She had a spill. She put up some Christmas holiday decorations, and she broke her leg and got like a metal plate with like 8 screws and had to have double surgery right before Christmas, Donnie's wife. So shout out to her, Bauer Green Logistics, LLC. That's Donnie and her trucking company. Also sponsor of the show is John Green Trucking Company. Shout out to him. Appreciate you guys always, always, always. Sponsor of the week is Yankees Batty Creations. She's a client of mine for Historically Haunted Booking. She makes different baked goods, non-GMO, whatever the fuck you diet people like. Sorry, but she does all that stuff. She does regular stuff that people like I like, the fat guys like too, the real stuff. So that's good. So check her out. She's based out of Connecticut. She has stuff on Etsy. You can order all her stuff shaped like little bats and all that good stuff. So the client, and also a client of mine coming on now, my guest this week, Allison Bennett, Allie Bennett, a.k.a. Allie, the psychic medium. This chick, man, she, I got a reading schedule with her this weekend. I ended up passing out last week, took a nap and blew the one I was supposed to have with her. Felt like shit about that. Allie has supported me for years to come. I got her book still. I still haven't started it. I'm going to start it soon. We got a big storm coming Sunday. I'm here alone in the Mount Katahdin Appalachian Trail, Maine, by Stephen King's Bangor. I got a nice little inscription in there. Even Iris, her daughter, and AJ, her husband, wrote some stuff in there for me. She goes, what she wrote, I'm not going to write you the whole thing, but she put, I'm no Stephen King, but I think you'll like it. So I think I will too. She's been, I know. AJ's jumping on. Hey, guys, I got to bring Allie on, but real quick, is her husband. No, dude, well, I want to give it the respect it deserves between fucking my life, which is chaos, and everything else. I haven't had time to sit, relax, drink some brandy, maybe have a candle going and read this book. And that's the respect it deserves. So that's going to come. Also, if I go out, guys, like last week, it's the Wi-Fi. Maine's horrible up here. So without further ado, if you don't know Allie the Psychic Medium, you will now. She's been a guest many times. 3, 2, 1. What's up, Allie?
Hi. Thank you for having me again, Adam. It's always so much fun.
Oh, you're an inspiration for so many. Here's some people that are really close to you checking in. The best book ever. You know them.
Yes, I do.
They're all checking in. What's up, Nathaniel Elwell? So, Allie, I'm going to, guys in comments, we'll get you in a second. I want to ask you from a friend to a friend, because you've been there for me. We've talked. You've sent me money to my own book to help me. You sent me your book at no cost. I mean, you've done so much. And I couldn't help but represent you.
I love you.
How are you? How are the holidays? How is Allie Bennett?
I'm going through it right now. There are seasons in life that we all go through where, there's periods of time where it's great and it's wonderful. And then the clouds come and then you really appreciate all of the good times that you had before and just try to hope that that will come back. And I know that it will, but it's just when things just stack on top of each other like they have been recently for us, it's just been really difficult to remember that. But I'm trying my best, and I have mental health problems just like everyone else does, it seems, these days. So it's just been a combination of everything, and being the sole provider right now is really difficult. And I never really, it's not, I didn't appreciate what my husband did, but I never really got to be in that position before where all of the pressure is on you to provide. And it just made me realize how amazing he was at doing that. And it's just, I kind of feel like I'm having an identity crisis, I guess, because I've never been that, that person before. So there's that on top of, just everything else that life brings. But I'm hanging in there and I'm doing my best. I appreciate it.
You are the female equivalent of Spider-Man, your little man crush. And I think you don't give yourself enough credit, because I know obviously financially I don't know your things, but I know that you're obviously you're like, not to get personal, but I know, and you're fostering family of yours, so to speak.
Yes. Yeah.
And and not to mention your own child, of course.
Yeah.
And that's not easy, man. And you know what? You are Allie, and you are an author, and you are, you're great, and you're a great person. But at the same time, you're fucking human, like you said. You got mental issues too.
Yes.
Unfortunately, spirit doesn't let up, though, and you can't.
It does not. No, I can't. I cannot.
If I remember right, Miss Medium, last show that I was on, you're like, I'm done. And now you're like, I'm coming back because I think it's calling you. I think, why not make a little bit extra money? I know it's not what it's about, but might as well do your thing, do some things. And I think that's that's your calling, man. Like Spider-Man, he's going to jump off the buildings. You're going to read minds.
Exactly. Yeah, I appreciate that. This job gives me a lot of love and hate. And it's not even the people or, the work that I do that makes me feel that way. It's just when you have, the title like I do, where you constantly have to prove yourself all of the time to so many people, that can be really exhausting. And it can make you feel like you're not a human being because everybody expects perfection. Everybody expects, so much out of you all of the time that it sometimes feels like they forget that you're a human being too at the end of the day. And I understand that there's a lot about me that's very different and very obscure. And I do put the bar up pretty high for myself. But at the same time, there's always just, that feeling of I don't feel like I can just make mistakes sometimes or stuff like that. And I know a lot of that I do to myself, but it's just hard because if I was on the other side of this and I was the client, going to a medium, I would have high expectations too. But at the same time, it's just hard to find the middle ground there with something like this. And there's not a lot of resources or people to look up to because everybody does it so differently. So it can be a lot sometimes.
Yeah, and they can look at you and go, "Oh my God, well, how can she have problems? Look at her. I mean, oh my God,
exactly.
She's young, she's vibrant, she's pretty, she's smart, she's a psychic, she's a mom." Well, guess what, dude? That's even worse for people like her, people like us, like me. People see me in public, they go, "Oh, whatever." Like maybe I'm having a bad day. I get why athletes and musicians, like they're humans too, man. Maybe they had $1 million contracts, but maybe their father just had cancer. Maybe they just, whatever. I think people expect too much out of people in your stature. And especially like a psychic medium, like how can they have problems? Couldn't they predict they have problems? It doesn't work like that. It's not a fucking movie. It doesn't work like that, guys.
Exactly. And I appreciate you saying that because that is something that I struggle with a lot. Is I feel like with the position I have so many people that look to me for guidance and insight and, their worries and their problems. And I'm there for them because I want to be, but then it almost makes me feel guilty when I complain about my own life because I know what other people are going through. And I know that they're the same things I tell them to use and utilize to fix their issues, I need to be doing myself, but it doesn't always work that way because it's different when it's you.
Dude, therapists have other therapists go to therapists.
Exactly.
Well, right, but I can't fix. But I mean, no, Allie, you're not. I think your bar is set high, and I don't even think you said it there. But maybe you did. Maybe some of that's on you. But I don't want to fucking beat this horse because this is supposed to be fun, and I want to get because you're fucking awesome. Dylan Wagner says so. Stay positive. Keep moving forward.
Hey, Dylan, thank you.
He's a good dude. He's a great dude. Thomas Patrick Gormley, another client of mine, rooting for you. Jean Tewksbury, she is the head curator of the International Cryptozoology Museum. You like monsters and shit like that? You believe in like Loch Ness and Mothman?
I do. Yeah. Yes, I do. I definitely think out of all of the like creatures and whatnot involved in folklore, I would say I lean towards more of like the land associated creatures like Bigfoot or stuff like that because the Loch Ness monster terrifies me and so does like Cthulhu. So I can't go there.
So you're not a big water creature fan or whatever? Like
no, absolutely not.
Like Jaws, like the big shark.
Oh my gosh, I love Jaws. See, that's the other problem that I have is a lot of things that I love also terrify me. So like I'm fascinated by sharks, but they scare the shit out of me. So I can't, I can't embrace that the way I want to because the love-hate thing. But
you love them from afar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I want to get into some fun questions. You know me, but real quick, where can people find this masterpiece? This
So
hardcover,
yeah,
beautiful.
that book. So when I made my first book, that book's actually not available for purchase anymore. I only had so many copies of it available to the public. So when
Oh,
yeah, they're very special if you do have one. And when my new book comes out, it will be more accessible and it will be out for longer. So more people will be able to take advantage of it. But yeah, that one was my baby. So I really made sure that the people I really, really wanted to have it had it. And you were one of those people.
that was dope. No, that was dope, man. I mean, I forget how I even got turned on to you. If it was a mutual friend, or if I
Me
found you through,
too.
huh?
I think it was Kenneth Drake, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was how.
Son of a gun, that beautiful
Yeah.
bastard. You
Yeah.
talk to him for 3 months straight, and you won't hear from him for 5 months. He's like a
I
ghost.
know. I have been wondering if he was okay. I haven't heard from him in a while.
Oh, no. I said Merry Christmas. I had nothing back. So, also, by the way, I got my reading coming up Saturday, which I'm so bummed,
Yes.
dude. I'm seriously sorry I
It's
passed out.
okay. It's okay.
Heather
Things
loves her
happen.
reading. Heather
Oh, I'm
Kimonini, my
so
girl Witch and
glad.
Life guide, she thinks the world of you.
Oh, right
Um,
back at you, Heather. You're
I'm sure
amazing.
I
Both
know
of you
she's
are.
watching. I gave her the link in case I go out and have her come on. There's another spiritual chick, Samai. She's
Right.
what's going on. I know I always say that name wrong. Brandon, what's up? Brandon helped me load up Annabelle at the Warren Convention this year at Mohegan Sun.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah,
so
Brandon's
cool.
Brandon's a cool dude. Um,
That's awesome.
so, like this type of year, obviously it's draining on people, missing loved ones.
Yeah,
Money's tight, all that stuff. But like, what does, if you don't mind me asking, you don't have to share your secrets, but what does
sure.
Allie do to get through? Do you burn a certain type of incense or candle? Do you?
Sure. Well, so I am a lot more of like a physical person and a thinker, like combined. So I wouldn't say that I have to like see something to believe it, but I have to have like, evidence and things to back things up for me to believe that they'll help me. That's just the way that I've always been. So I'm way more psychological when it comes to the problems that I have or the things that are going on. I think about the way I handled things before and if I did it right or if I should do it differently. But the biggest thing that I do when I'm upset is I try to imagine myself as another person because I'm somebody that really struggles with having self empathy due to like trauma and things I went through as a child. So it's difficult for me to see myself as, a human being too. And so I think of myself like someone else. And something that I do when I'm really down is I'll write tomorrow me messages, like, because every
Oh,
night I tell myself I'm never going to be this person on this day at this time ever again, because that's true. We never will be who we are right now forever. So I tell myself to write these notes to tomorrow me like she's a different person. Like, for example, don't forget to brush your teeth tomorrow, or don't be too busy to brush your teeth tomorrow, or it's okay if you don't get dressed tomorrow, or just little things like that to help me have empathy for myself because I suck at that. And I know a lot of people do. So that's really a huge thing I've added into these times, and it really does help.
I've I guess people out there are like you. I've never heard of that. I like that. The little self. You're your own biggest cheerleader. I think you got to be. I think it's not selfish to put yourself first, because how can you help other people
Exactly.
out if you're not helping yourself, right?
It's the most selfless thing you can do to take care of yourself if you expect to take care of other people.
That's why at the end of a long day, I go out and I grab myself a nice hard beer.
As you should.
Because
Thank
it
you,
could be
Tim.
worse. I mean, I'm not hurting no one, but it's little things like that, like rewards, I guess, right? Treat
Yes.
yourself. Like, I'm going to get myself that piece of cheesecake or whatever. I think that's worth it in life,
Yes, absolutely. This is what mine is. This is my crutch that I lean on for everything.
Is
Is
that
my vape. It's a
okay?
vape.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's like a little. Yeah, I use it. Yeah, so
Mhm.
you don't mind if I smoke, then, do you?
Go ahead.
I got a
Go
med
ahead.
card. Well, I know you got a lot of followers. You got a lot of sunflowers. Those are her people,
Me
guys.
too.
If you know
Yeah.
what that means, you're one of them. And a lot of them, I'm not saying they're straight laced, but there's mixed bag, and I don't want to offend anyone. So
Yeah, I
anyone
love them
watching,
all with all my heart. All of them I
much
do.
love. I don't mean any disrespect by this or my language. I'm a big sunflower myself. I'm probably the biggest one in the patch, honestly.
He is.
So, um, So let's do some fun stuff. I know I've asked you this before, but we got a lot of people checking in, a lot of new people. Oh, what is I just had I said cheesecake 3 nights ago. I get it. That's cute. That's funny. I thought she had 3 cheesecake a night ago. I was like, damn, girl, you got me beat. Tip top. Hello, Ed. How are you? Checking in, everybody? What's going on? So, like I said, Allie, I've asked you this before. I've had you on my radio show on Paranormal King. I've had you on the podcast for all seasons now, I think.
I'm lucky.
No, you're fucking awesome. That's the difference. So I'm going to ask you this, and it's beating the dead horse, but give me your top 3 your movies, not for your daughter, not for your husband, for you. Give me your top 3. I know you wrote them down on the client thing too, but let's examine them. And I already know what they are. But.
So it's any Spider-Man movie. You know that I love my Spider-Man movies, especially the Tom Holland Spider-Man is my favorite. The new movie that just came out is called Five Nights at Freddy's. I actually have like the poster over there. I love that movie. It's a really good movie.
His daughter's favorite. Yeah, Freddy Fazbear.
Iris is obsessed with FNAF. She's never seen the movie. I will not let her watch the movie. She doesn't know anything about like their backstory. She just knows that like they're cute and that they sing songs. And my daughter, I'm not kidding, she is going to be an art prodigy because she can draw at 4 years old pictures of these characters that just absolutely blows my mind. Like, it's wild. If AJ is watching this still, if you can bring one of her pictures in here, I'd love to show that eventually. But another movie that I love would have to be...
I'm on it.
I just told my sister yesterday. I see, this is my thing with ADHD is when anybody asks me what I like, I always just like completely blank and forget. I just told my sister this morning one of my favorite movies, and now I just can't even remember it because I swear I go blank and I can't remember it. Have you seen Five Nights at Freddy's?
I did because it was free on Peacock. I watch all the wrestling. You know that.
Yeah.
So it was on there, and like I said, Heather's daughter, her child there, the youngest, she's just turned 15. Yeah, she'll be 15 this year. I forget, but she's obsessed. And I remember when I've been with Heather for 6 years now. So when I first met her child, she was 9. She'd come in with these, the Bonnet holding the cupcake in the eyes and all this shit, and like, Freddie Fazbear. I like the Bears, Chicago Bears. It's my football team. So I was like, awesome. All right. And then she started to show me videos and telling me, and like how their souls trapped in robotic bodies, animatronics. I'm like, what?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Iris doesn't know any of that, but she does know. Yeah, she just thinks they're cute. She says that they're her imaginary friends. But something that was weird about like after we watched The Devil All the Time, that was my other favorite movie. That's a very good movie.
I don't know what that meant. Awesome. I've never heard of that. What is that about?
It's about it's sort of hard to explain, but it has Bill Skarsgård in it. It has Robert Pattinson in it, and Tom Holland is in it. He's the main character. Essentially, there's a pastor at this church that his sister goes to, and he comes into town and everybody loves him and thinks he's the greatest thing, but he's actually terrible. And he gets his sister pregnant, and she's a young girl, and Robert Pattinson, who plays a pastor, is supposed to be older, and he gets her pregnant and basically, kicks her out of the church and says it's not his, and that, she's a whore and all of these things. And so Tom Holland goes after the pastor and him for what he did to his sister, and then from there he kind of like runs away from the town so that nobody because people start suspecting that it might be him that did it. Wow. Because the pastor, but as he's on the run, he gets picked up by these really terrible people who also murdered a bunch of people, and ends up almost being one of their like serial killer victims. So it's an amazing movie. I'm terrible at explaining movies, but
it's
definitely
all over the place.
It is. Yeah. And I love movies like that make me really think and stuff. I have a creepy story to share if you don't mind. Okay, so it's also about FNAF and like this weird connection that it's had in my life. And this is going to sound crazy, but I feel like we all dig conspiracies and stuff like that for the most part here. So basically, After we watched the movie, prior to it, my daughter went through this period of time where she did not want to eat food. She has sensory issues with food, and there'll be periods of time for months even where she will have no desire to eat. And we were fortunately able to get her to drink pretty well and whatnot, so she was still getting nutrition just through drink rather than food. But in the movie, the little sister of the main character, Mike, she also will not eat. And he's, pulling his hair out about the fact that she won't eat and like about ready to just throw in the towel and being her caregiver because it's so stressful on him. Well, when he goes to work at Freddy Fazbear's, she meets the characters because they'd already been visiting her and she was drawing pictures of them, like the spirits of the kids stuck in the animatronics have been visiting the sister. So when she goes to meet them as the animatronics, it like makes her happy, so she starts eating. Well, after my daughter, she learned who the characters were after we watched the movie, she started eating again. And she also has drawn pictures of them nonstop, and she has never seen the movie ever. And yes, she even knew what some of their names were without us telling her what the names were, and I don't know how. And just like really weird like tie-ins to our life. Like for example, Mike, the main character, got fired while AJ just got, let go from his job. So it's just been like these really weird coincidences maybe, but it's just I don't know. I don't know if what it is, but it's crazy.
What?
Yeah. It's wild.
I mean, we've talked about your daughter possibly having gifts because you have gifts anyway, but that's something on the different. That's not
yeah,
even...
it's insane. Like I don't know what I'm so grateful that she's eating and that she's fine and she's happy and healthy, but it's just like that connection. I'm just waiting for these little kids to appear in my hallway that are stuck inside animatronics or something that I have to help. So
you may have just opened the door, Allie.
yeah, I don't know, I guess. But she also has been talking to them like they're actually around her. And I know at her age, like imaginary friends are typical and they're not spirits because I don't see anything. But it's just weird. Like I don't know. It's just eerie, I guess, in a way, but also funny at the same time.
Oh, that's cute as hell, though. She's,
Yeah,
just
it is.
so young.
Yeah.
Of course, you're a protective mama, but I mean, you would sense something bad. You don't.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
You're good. That's people are talking about the movie now. So people have seen it. Such as suspenseful, the devil all the time.
Yes, I love that movie.
Allie's living in a movie. She's living in FNAF, for God's sake.
Yeah, clearly. Oh, AJ just got her drawings. He just brought them in.
Oh, what's up? Have him put his face in there. Say hi if he wants.
He wants to say hi.
What's up, dude? I don't have any. What's up?
What's up, brother?
He brought the drawings.
Yeah. So this is Chica. This is the yellow chicken one.
So
yeah, she's
keep
4.
that in
a little
mind.
closer. Put a little closer. What? Yeah.
The little blue mouth,
dude.
Yeah, that's supposed to be Chica.
And here's Bonnie.
Yeah. That's Bonnie, the blue rabbit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it's just crazy. Yeah.
Look at the eyebrows.
I used to draw a lot when I was a kid too. Yep.
Yeah, she's extremely talented.
My girl Heather's got a question. Does Iris have a favorite?
She does. So she, like in the beginning, her favorite was Chica, but now her favorite is Bonnie. She absolutely loves Bonnie. For Christmas, she got all kinds of like FNAF action figures and stuff. Mm-hmm. She loves them.
Oh, that's awesome. What's this say? Do you see a line in the hallway not too long ago?
You did. That was really
I did. So there was. Just
what are you vaping over there?
I swear. So we were sitting in the living room.
No, I'm kidding.
We were sitting in the living room, and
later, AJ. Later, brother.
We were sitting in the living room, and randomly, like, because spirits just come in and out of my house all the time. I never know who's going to be there, or, like, who's just going to, like, come in and leave or acknowledge me or don't. And most of the time, I don't acknowledge them just because I can't constantly be connected all the time. But we were just sitting there talking, and all of a sudden, I look over, and I'm like, am I tripping, or is that an actual lion in our living room? And, like, my face was just white, and I was like, that's a spirit of a lion in my living room. Like it just walked through the living room. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I've seen some crazy things in my time.
It's not an average. There's not an average day in the life of and a fellow psychic could probably justify for that.
Exactly.
Marie checking in. She could probably. Hello, Brandy. Thanks for checking in.
Hi.
Penny. Hello.
Hi.
First timer, Penny. I don't think I've ever seen you on here, so that's awesome. She was shocked for sure. AJ, that was quick. All right, so let's get to the ever popular music category. Like I said, I've asked you this before. I get it, but we get some first timers watching. So,
I would say in terms of music, yeah, it does. Everything that I like changes all the time, and I swear it's just because I'm a Gemini. Like everything I like, I'll be interested in for like a month, and the next month I'll like something else. But
yep,
right now I'd say I'm really into Olivia Rodrigo, and I think that's because my younger sister like really got me in love with her music. And I've always loved folk music. So the Civil Wars is another one of my favorite bands. And I love NF, the rapper, because he talks a lot about like how difficult it is to be, you know, working with the public all the time and like being under that light for so many people all the time. And like he also has OCD, and I do too. So I love the way that he gets his messages across through his music.
Like you said earlier, we're not untouchable no matter what platform you're at. Even the goddamn president's got issues. You don't think he gets up in that diarrhea?
Yeah, exactly.
So speaking of folk music, check out the Dead South.
Yes, I love the Dead South. So does my husband. AJ loves the Dead South.
Yeah, they don't have any drums. You know, they just all play banjos and shit. Four dudes on the train track. Oh, Dead South. That's folk. You've heard of it. AJ's like, hell yes. That's cool.
Yes.
Oh, so my girl Heather, I didn't know this. She saw lion spirits multiple times as a child.
Wow. Okay. Well, that makes me feel so much less crazy because like I've never heard of anything like that before. So I literally thought like I was either hallucinating or I don't know. It was just wild. But
sorry to cut you off, but do you think that's really is it really lion spirits, or is it a metaphor, or do you think it really is the animal?
That's a good question. That's a good question, because sometimes because they can make themselves look like whatever they want to, whenever they want to, as long as it doesn't cause someone harm or like fear. But I mean, sometimes they will do things to creep you out just to be funny, but most of the time it's not malevolent. And when I saw the lion, it had this like aura around it, like this white light kind of coming out of its fur. And usually when I see that white light, I know that they're in like their natural spirit form, which is how I knew it was for sure just like a lion that had passed away. But the thing that was weird was I was like, okay, well, there's got to be a reason why a lion was in my living room, because it just doesn't make sense. And I looked it up. And there was a lion in a zoo that is near us that actually recently passed away. So I think that could have been it. I'm not certain, but yeah.
God, you kidding? Yeah. You're in the Midwest America there by the big lakes and shit, like Michigan. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe someone's a Leo.
Yeah, I mean that's what I thought. That was my first thought, was it was a spirit trying to show me something by showing me a lion, but then it just didn't feel right, and I kept looking for, other, things it could have been, and it was definitely a lion soul.
Wow, you're like Snow White. Even the fucking souls of the animals, dead and alive, come to you.
Thank you.
AJ's giving me a shout out. Yes, Death South's a killer band. That's cool. People never heard about them. Black Lung, good tune. Let's see. Thomas Patrick Gormley. It was a protective spirit guide coming to you.
Yeah, Thomas, that was another thing I wondered too, as if it could have been a spirit guide.
That's a strong one.
Yeah.
You're a lioness, Allie. You don't give yourself enough credit. You're for someone who doesn't post really negatively. You don't ever post bullshit. You don't ever post bragging stuff. You're very it's pretty much a psychic page. You have a couple, actually, real quick. If you guys could see here, that's her page. You guys can follow her. She's got, get out of there, Antoine. She's got, 2.8 thousand followers. She's only following 24, and I believe most of them are my pages, so that's pretty cool.
Yes.
But there's her page, guys. Look at that. She promoted about the show. A couple different stuff. She wants to go live again. Do questions and answers live. Do,
yes.
she's got her PayPal, her Cash App, all that stuff up for stuff. She's available for readings. What am I on here? Am I stuck on the heart? There you go. So you really are, seriously, you're very, and I get it, man. You wrote the book. You're like, well, I'm done. I got to take care of my daughter. I got my family coming in, but it's your calling. And that's why I said I would be honored to be your agent. I'd be honored to be.
Thank you. I really
for all you've done to me.
Thank you. I love you with all my heart.
She's amazing, guys. Check it out. Do you plan on writing another one, even though I haven't touched this one yet?
Yeah, I do. I am going to be releasing another book this summer. It's called Being the Happy Medium. So I am really excited for that. The first book I did was more so about, experiences I had, plus the story of Jacob Mash in spirit and, his journey through the afterlife and, every aspect of the afterlife that he knew about as a spirit, and gave that information to me to put into a book to help people that have lost someone understand what happens when you die, and that you're not just gone when you die, that you're still here. It's just a little different. And I was so happy to have been able to do that and work with his family and with him to do so. But this book that I'm doing now, I really want this to be raw, and I really want this to be, what it's like to be a medium, all of the focus be on that, because I feel like, we all talk about spirits, and we all talk about, negative energies and energy that and energy this, and like, predicting the future and whatever, but nobody talks about how stressful and hard it is to be that person that sees these things nobody else sees, or to carry all of this knowledge all of the time that you don't have any idea what to do with. Or, for example, when you have a dream that a terrible event's going to happen the next day, but what are you going to do? Call the president and tell him? Like, you can't. So, right. But then you see it happen, and then you're like, well, fuck, I could have did something, but then nobody believes you, and it's hard.
Or they think you're involved. Well, how did you know?
Exactly. So it's just, it's very difficult to be in that position sometimes. And I think that, I speak for a lot of people that do what I do when I say that people just don't get it sometimes. And we don't expect you to, but we at least deserve the chance to talk about it and express how difficult that can be.
Yeah. No, man, oh man, you should be a public fucking speaker. I got to get you at a convention speaker. I got to get you paid to be on stage and talk to people.
Thank you.
Seriously, so much, Allie, man. You word things, you say, and I'm not just kissing your ass because fucking I got no reason to. You're already my client. I don't. But it's just, speaking of clients, real quick. George DeCosta's checking in with a fellow client.
Hi.
He's having dinner right now with Stacey Johnson. Stacey Johnson played Pennywise in the remake of It. I know Bill Skarsgård did too, but in the sewer scene, when she ripped off Georgie's arm, it was Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes is Stacy. She got Lyme disease and couldn't finish the whole movie because of Lyme disease.
That's so cool. Hi.
I met her at the Warren convention, and now I'm her client. She's paid me to sponsor her. Her and That's David insane. Merlin is magician. So they're having dinner with George DeCosta. They say hello. So yeah, dude, Pennywise.
Wow. That's so cool. I love Pennywise. So that's awesome.
Yes, she's uncredited, but it's legit. It's all online.
That's so
IMDb.
Cool.
So
that's awesome.
Oh, look at that. You got a lot of backers. Can't wait to read your new book. Avery, they think the world of you. Is it a new watcher here? So true, especially for young people who don't understand. Katie Walker, thank you for joining in.
Thank you.
I think that's right, because they look at you at like, well, how can a psychic medium have ADHD or have a bad day? It's like that doesn't. If anything, being a psychic medium gives you ADHD or OCD.
Yes, it does. Yeah, I think that. Wow. I think a lot of, some of the issues, well, I wouldn't say a lot, some of the issues that I have definitely do stem from, my line of work. And like one thing I struggle with a lot is I feel guilty for, feeling traumatized by certain things that I experience as a psychic medium. Like, for example, when I have to see somebody's death, or I'm helping with a missing persons case, and I have to see very sensitive things and things that, everyday people don't see. So but it's not happening to me. I'm just seeing it in here. So it makes me feel guilty when I say that I've, feel traumatized by it. But then at the same time, I'm like, why do I do that to myself? Because I'm still seeing it either way. So it's just like this constant where you try to stay with what society tells you is right. And then on the other hand, what you know is right. And it's so hard to find that happy medium, which is my book.
I love the metaphor. A happy medium, I get you. Fucking brilliant. Yeah. Oh man, you're gonna get paid. You getting me? You fucking the brain you got. You're gonna come on.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Seriously, Allie. Real quick to Heather to say hi to Georgia with the red balloon. That's funny to George with Pennywise and them. I want to get back to something I remember you brought up after my car accident when I died for 38 seconds, and you talked to me about my mom and stuff a little bit. And you were saying, she said she's proud of you, my boy. She said she's proud of you. I said, what did you say? Proud of you, my boy. I go, mothers don't say. My mom said that to me every fucking time. But love you, my boy. That was her thing, and you knew it, man. And a lot of times you say this stuff, you don't remember saying it. You're like, you're out of body.
I don't.
But I don't. I remember that, Allie.
I'm so grateful that I was able to give that to you, because you're my friend and I love you and I care about you, but also just to give you that, just a little bit for the time being. But then, Saturday we'll be able to really dig into it. But I'm just grateful I was able to do that for you, because that's my favorite thing to do for others, is to not, prove that it's real, but to give you those big feelings of, oh my God, they're still actually there. Like they really are still there. And I'm not, just imagining that they're around me. Like they are there, because they are.
You see how you're selfless? You're going through your own shit and you're still putting other people in front of you. You know what I mean? Some people have the gift and just don't care. Just go through life and like, I don't care. Just whatever. I'm sure there's a lot that don't talk about it. But there's some that just, they want to. And I think, why not? And I think if it's there, like, dude, you saw the King of the Jungle in your living room. Come on now.
That's fair. Yeah.
Bro, if I only had a break. I can think of the Wizard of Oz. Put him up. Oh, man. Yeah. What's up, everybody? He's checking in. Matt Barron, appreciate you checking in. Katie Walker, police and healthcare workers often use tolerant treatment too. You'd be weird if you had some feelings seeing that stuff. If you didn't, right. Yes.
That's a fair point. Yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you.
But the thing is, you don't sign up. You sign up to be a medical guy, a cop. You didn't sign up to be a psychic medium. You didn't sign up to have that connection, right?
Yes. That's true. Because I mean, when I tell people that I've had this since I was born, I think that a lot of people are like, oh, she's just saying that. But no, I sincerely have had this ability since I can remember my existence. So it's definitely never something I asked for, but I don't think that I'm special because I have it. I just think that I'm more aware than other people are, because I think that this is something anybody could do if they put the time, effort, energy, and dedication into it, and we're open-minded enough, because that's really like the biggest thing behind how I'm able to do this, but Sally down the street's not able to do it. It's because I'm aware. And I think there are a lot of things in my life that forced me to be more aware. And even if they were negative things, I learned to take that and make that into something positive, which is this. And that's the only time I'm grateful for the things that forced me into that awareness, because of all the people I've been able to help because of it.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Yeah, bloodline's got a connection. I mean, for someone who's so young and so honestly, you're kind of on your own. Do you have like a mentor? Is there like another medium or a psychic that you go to, or do you just kind of consult with yourself, or?
I don't have anybody I go to directly that I talked to, but I do really love Chip Coffey's work, and I loved Lorraine Warren too. I really respect and appreciate both of them. I think that they are, in my head, what the ideal psychic medium looks like, because of how transparent they were and how much they actually care about the people that they're helping, whether they're living or dead. So I really, really love the both of them.
Besides Kenneth Drake, of course.
Oh, and Kenneth Drake, of course. Of course.
Well, I love Kenneth too, you bastard.
I do go to him a lot.
When he's available.
Yes.
He's got issues, though. I know he was moving out, and I know that him and the missus kind of separated there, so that sucks.
Yeah, I wish them nothing but the best. I hope that
both
they do.
Both of them are great people. Yeah, Alexandria is fantastic. I went to an event with them.
She is.
So, We got 20 minutes to go. We're still rolling here. I want to talk some fun stuff, but I want to talk some serious stuff too, because we got 17 people watching. Hello, everybody watching. Say
Thank you, everybody. Hi.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Say, please mention in comments. You guys got any questions for Allie? Anything decent?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ask her up. Before we get to more questions, Allie, I want to say, how open are you? I guess I already know this, but just that way publicly, especially being your booker, how open are you to going to paranormal conventions and talking, maybe doing a table where you can do readings at a table live at a convention? If I can talk to Tony Spera, I can get you to the Warren Con next year in Connecticut.
I would love that. So I would love to go and be a part of that community. The one thing is that I am incredibly shy and I'm an introvert. So I get really, really, really nervous in, big crowds of people and like shut down. So that's the only thing I have to work on first. Otherwise, I'm going to be like a little kid and not want to do anything when I get there. I'll tell myself I want to do it, but then I'll back out and be like, I can't do it. But
plenty of vapes and maybe shots of Red Bull or Fireball, or Jaeger, loosen you up a little bit.
Yeah. I'm definitely more.
Do good though.
It's not that I don't think I could, do like perform, what I need to when I need to. It's just like all the pressure is right there, and I'm not used to that. So because I do everything virtually for work, so it'd be very different, I guess. And on top of being overwhelmed by all the dead people that are connected to people too, I just worry about how I would handle it. I have had a meet and greet before, and that went really well, and that was really fun.
Awesome.
But it was small. So I would love to do it. I'm not saying no, but I'm not saying yes. But I would love. Yeah.
Well, good. I mean, Thomas Patrick Gormley, he runs a lot of conventions like the Salem Con I went to. His buddy and my buddy, Charles Rosenet, put that on. Dude, I went to go to Salem University in Salem, Massachusetts, and I get to speak. Come on, cool. Allie, you fit right in there. I know you're Southwest.
I trust you.
I'll get your hotel paid for, your travel fees paid for, and get you a table at no cost. And speaking, probably get you a good solid 100 to 200 plus free food.
Wow.
Come on, you're Allie Bennett, dude.
I can't turn that down then.
Psychic medium Alex Marie Gasca, what's up? I haven't talked to you in a long time, girl. How are you?
Hi.
Candle Witch, Rachel King, what's up? Saying hello.
Hi. Thank you for being here.
This has got a question for me. Have I got any person? Oh man, how much time do we got? I've gotten a couple. Lizzie Borden's house in Fall River, Massachusetts, where the double murder happened, where actually 3 murders happened prior to that. No one talks about. Lizzie's next to Lizzie Borden's house. Her aunt lived there. When Lizzie was 4 years old, her aunt killed her 2 children, Lizzie's cousins, and then herself, suicide. No, people don't know that. So there's
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we got to tour, Heather and I, and the other people that stayed there canceled. So the tour guide goes, oh, everybody else canceled. You get the house to yourself. Don't die. And shut the door. $200. Usually it's like a $1,500 value to rent the whole house out.
But That's crazy.
You got it because everybody else canceled. I was like, you fucking kidding me? So I spent an all-nighter, yeah.
That's so cool.
But I saw my grandfather's spirit when I was 9 in 1988 in Lisbon, Maine. Went to the same high school as Stephen King. Lisbon. He lived in Durham, which is a little hook town next to Lisbon. But went to the same high school. But I was 9 in 1988. My grandfather passed away. My mom's dad, she loved him very much. She tried to crawl in the coffin with him when he died. People had to escort her out. I don't remember much of that, but I hear stories. And, he walked me to the fridge and got me some milk, told me he loved me, and then just kind of drifted away like parcels, like particles, like just drifting.
Yeah.
And I just thought I was fucking dreaming until years later my sister told me, or my aunt told me, she spent the night. She saw my sister talking to the ceiling going, okay, Papa, I love you too. And she saw particles go off. My aunt from California. So that kind of put 2 and 2 together after a while. And then when I was 15, I saw my dad's dad die in the hospital in front of me, flatlined and everything. As his eyes rolled. Oh, yeah. So I saw a lot of shit before I was 20. So and it kind of brought me onto it. I mean, it's definitely paying the bills. Not that I'm a millionaire. But some people go away from that, Allie. Which brings me to a question for you now. What has kept you going in this? I know a couple of times you've kind of just been like, meh. Have you really looked for a solution to get out of it? Or are you just saying, fuck it, let's roll with it?
I tend to get pulled back and forth very often where, because it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. So I always have this part of me like, this is what you're supposed to do. This is your calling and you have to do this because that's what you're here for. Like, that's my purpose. But then the other part of me is like, why is it just that? Why can't it be this too? Or why can't it be that? Or why do I always have to do this? And that's when I get that pulled back and forth. But the thing that keeps me going is people like you, the people that actually appreciate, what I do, and the people that actually, want to learn more and they want to know more and they need it. And I am a caretaker type of person. So I love to help people and I love to give out as much as I can to help others, as hard as that can be sometimes. That's what keeps me going, is knowing that, like the Spider-Man quote, with great power comes great responsibility. And I have a lot of responsibility to maintain. So that's why I do it. I do it for all of you. That's why I do it.
And I appreciate that. I think we all love you. We all appreciate you, your whole family. You got a big house there. But Allie, please, 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 it wears you thin. Take time for yourself, girl.
I do. I do, and I will. It's just, and that's all on me because I do it to myself, where I tell myself, you can do more, you could do more, you could do more, you could be helping more, until I get myself in this hole where I'm like, I don't know how I got here, but then I do know how I got here. I just don't want to admit it. And it's just,
and life's looking at you. Life's looking at you, going that.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, real quick, guys. I blocked her. She sent your sister, a couple of other people, not your sister, but a couple of people there, whatever, Alex and other people. No, I blocked her. Don't people, psychics don't tell people, message me for a reading. You go to their page and set one up. I got an email back from Allie saying this is your appointment the whole night. It's legit, not bullshit. So yeah, she's blocked, guys. Do that, Allie. Yes. Alex is awesome. I'm great. Hope you all are great. Alex, I see you reporting on TikTok live at like fucking 6 a.m. I'm getting ready for work. I usually try to say hi, but you're one that don't quit. Look at her. She's dropping everybody. I blocked her, man.
I can't stand when people do that stuff.
That doesn't happen much, but block her, guys. I'm going to try again. You're getting blocked, my lady. User was blocked. There you go. All right. I may be old. Universe. There we go. AJ. Hey, look, she wants AJ.
Good luck. Good luck.
No, she's blocked. Hello, Sean. Sean, appreciate you. He shares a lot of stuff. He has a bunch of good stuff going on. I'm going to try to have him as a guest at some point. People are loving on you.
Too.
Or maybe me. I mean, I think it's you. Maybe it's both of us. That's good, though. Good vibes tonight. Good people. Christina Marie, Brandon Spalding. Brandon says, give me the number for the lotto. Only if you split it, man. Oh, that chick that's sending out readings and stuff. Christine Marie, she took pictures at the convention there. Good people, too.
Hi.
We're all caught up, I believe. Yeah, okay, we're good. All right, Allie. So I know it's all in your questionnaire, which dropped. Guys, go to Historically Haunted Booking LLC on Facebook. You'll see stuff on there. Also, Allie the Psychic Medium on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, the whole nine. You do YouTube, right? You got a YouTube channel?
I don't have a YouTube for my psychic stuff. I do just keep it all on Facebook, just because when I had all of the different social media platforms, it was a lot to manage by myself. So right now I just have Facebook. I do have a TikTok, but there's nothing like psychic on it. I just use it to make videos sometimes.
I should know that. I'm your client. I get this stuff written down. I honestly had a beer, had a joint. Heather's on top. I had to hire Heather.
Heather.
I get many clients now. She loves you.
Thank you, Heather. I love you.
She's in charge of the psychics and the girls. So you may get messages from Heather once in a while asking you things. It's because she's,
of course.
Well, big fan of yours, Linda Bernier from Seattle,
I love
Washington.
you too, Linda. Thank you.
Her and John love you to death. I think the world
They're angels. Yeah. I love them so much. I'm so grateful to know them.
Good people. Shout out. Yes, every morning, TikTok. Check out Alex. I love you much. Allie is finding her way in the balance. I very much believe Allie's finding her way in the balance.
I'm trying. I'm trying my best.
A wife, a sister, a mother, a psychic. I mean, she's just, you're an author. And now, there's a lot of hats. And I believe at the same time with me living out in Maine, if I didn't do my podcast once a week, I'd probably go crazy between working and everything else. But it's good to be able to reach out. So I think it's nice.
Yes.
to wear many hats, but it can wear you thin.
Exactly. Yeah. I definitely love being able to put on different hats all the time because it makes me feel like I'm actually getting the full experience of life to be able to try so many different things, because that's what truly we're all intended to do, is to try so many different things and to not be afraid to try different things. But sometimes when you're like me and you have ADHD and you overcommit to everything at the same time, that's on me. But I'm figuring it out, and it'll be okay.
Well, let's be honest. You don't want to wear a hat. You want to wear a mask like Spider-Man, like Venom.
Yes, exactly.
Carnage, maximum carnage. What was the forearmed one? Remember the forearm Spider-Man?
Oh, I do. I can't remember what he's called off the top of my head.
But yeah. All right. So speaking of trying new things, let's get to this. Like I said, this is on the questionnaire, guys. But since we're here live, let's ask Allie, what's her splurge meal? You like a big steak? What do you go for? A lobster?
Yes. I love steak. I love crab. Wow. I love shrimp. Yeah, definitely say like all of those
shrimp
in one meal would be awesome.
Or both? Like shrimp cocktail or
just like fresh shrimp, like cocktail shrimp. Those are my favorite. Love them.
Well, I tell you, which I guess Alex says crab. Crab meat, I don't mind crab. Crab ragoose bullshit. That's imitation. So, okay, and I've asked you this before, but let's get there. When you come into Maine?
Whenever I have the money. As soon as I am financially able to, I definitely will. That's somewhere I've wanted to go since I was little, so it will definitely be there. I just don't know when yet.
Hopefully a couple of years when Iris is older so she can enjoy food memories and stuff. Yes. I'll take you to Kings. Obviously do your own thing, but oh man, Lighthouse. Yes. So give me some bucket lists. I mean, obviously Maine's one, but give me one for America and one for all of the world for bucket list places for you.
So Maine is definitely, or Salem probably actually, is my bucket list for America. For overseas, I'd say either Ireland or Norway is somewhere I've always wanted to go because I have Norwegian in me. So I've always wanted to go there, just like, see how, everything is there and whatnot. But yeah, those are my two places. What about you?
Wow, that's it's funny. Not to I'll get to that in a second, but it's funny because you like folk music, and that ties in with the Norway thing, Viking music, folk music, right?
Yes, I love Viking music too. The Norse music.
Oh, that's funny. Well, that's funny because your sister asked, or your Avery asked me, have you ever been to Bar Harbor? Yes, I have. There's a lot of ghost ships there. There's actually a pirate ship by Deer Island, Bar Harbor. If you go off the coast, and they say that you can hear the slaves on the ship crying still because the ship crashed. And like 25 African American slaves died on the ship en route to Massachusetts, and they died in Bar Harbor coming from Africa because that's the way the pattern or whatever, and you can still hear it. And I've been to Southwest Harbor. Southwest Harbor is where they filmed Storm of the Century. Stephen King, born and sin, come on in. And I went. So y'all, Maine, I got Maine covered. You know me, I love my Maine.
Well, yeah, I know you do. And it's so cool that I love how much you care about history and how you keep it alive, because if it weren't for people like you, it wouldn't be what it is. And I'm so grateful for that because it's so important to the present time. The past is just as important.
Oh, that means a lot. That's pretty dope. I appreciate that. Coming from you, that's huge. And to answer your question, what's funny? A bucket list place is kind of your neck of the woods. I want to go towards the Midwest, specifically Chicago, Illinois. I got to see my Chicago Bears Stadium. I got to see where the St. Valentine's Day Massacre shooting was. I want to go to one of Michael Jordan's restaurants, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Just go see the fountain from Married with Children. You know what I mean? The big water
there's
fountain.
So many cool things to do in Illinois. A lot of people don't. I mean, there's a lot to do everywhere in the state because I feel like whenever people think of Illinois, they think of either it's a flyover state or they think, St. Louis, or not St. Louis, Chicago. For the longest time, even until like 5 years ago, I thought that St. Louis was in Illinois. Because I don't know why my brain just associated that with being in Illinois until one day I was like, it's in Missouri. It's not in Illinois. But I feel like people don't know that there's a lot of really cool things like history wise, especially even where I live in Washington. There's a lot of really cool things here. Like Abraham Lincoln had a lot of history here. There was
Illinois.
The Bartonville State Hospital had a lot of history. That's actually my great grandma was actually in the Bartonville State Hospital because she was a medium.
No
so
shit.
Yeah, so I am very passionate on, educating people on mediumship for her too, because she didn't get the opportunity to do that. She just got thrown away and was left to basically die there because of it. So that's another reason why I do what I do, is to honor my family members that were not able to express themselves because of it.
Damn right. They were witches back then. They were hung people like you.
Oh
No
yeah,
offense.
and I had lots of witches in my my family. So.
Oh, and she said witches with a W, guys. So.
Yes, I mean bitches too, but
No, good. Alex Marie Gass is loving your picks. Exactly.
Thank you.
She says, Ronnie Green, the truck driver. Look at his face. He's getting ready. That's his face right before he hit Gage. Whoa. Singing the Ramones.
So cool. When I was little, and I know this doesn't sound the same, but when I was like maybe 6 to 10, I was obsessed with the OG Pet Cemetery. Like I watched that movie all the time, even as a little kid. It didn't really scare me too much, but I was just really desensitized to that stuff already because I loved horror movies. So
what's one of your favorite parts? You must love the cat church. You must love that gray cat. I mean, like, yeah,
I definitely say that. Or just like when the animals would come back to life and like go after everybody. That always it used to freak me out, but it gave me like an adrenaline rush at the same time because I thought it was really cool. But yeah, that's so crazy.
Kate Walker says, Zelda, remember the sister with scoliosis? She had back scoliosis in the bed. You know what's funny?
Yes.
One of my guests beginning of the year, David Greenberg, he made that bed for the Pet Cemetery movie that she died in. They offered him the bed after the movie was done.
That's
no
crazy.
shit. Yeah,
that's
I love my Stephen King guys, but yeah, that's pretty dope. Cool. Stacy and David say hello. Hello, David. And hello, Pennywise. Hello, Stacy, Miss Johnson. Dude, you got all Stephen King checking in today.
That's so cool. I'm so honored. That's awesome.
That's pretty dope. You guys are talking and listening to Allie the Psychic Medium. She's available on Facebook. She's an author. She's got one book coming out now she's already out now called Living with the Dead. Author Allie. Right there, novel style memoir depicting the ins and outs of El Spirit World. And you can't have this one because it's a hard copy signed. It's for me. But she's got that one, and she's got another one coming out.
I do.
Is it cool if we go about 5 or 10 minutes over? We're almost out of time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I want to make sure we get everything in because I got some more questions. Hello, Two Witches and Spooky Spirits podcast. Laura Barrett, what's up? Thanks for checking in. What'd you say? We're related to Chief Redbeard.
Yes, and we're related to Chief Redbird. Yes, he's actually Thomas Jefferson actually sent someone to kill him. He is one of my great grandfathers. But yeah, we are directly related to him.
Allie, if they would have killed him, you wouldn't be here right now, or at least not in this form. You'd be someone else's kid.
Yeah, it's so crazy to think about. Yeah,
dude, you've had the chip stacked against you, yo, for a long time.
We're also direct descendants of Bjorn Ironside, which is like, if you ever heard of Ragnar Lothbrok, like he was like a really famous Norseman. So Bjorn was his son. We're a direct descendant of him.
That's cool as hell. And of course, Linda just thinks that's wonderful. That's pretty wild. That's holy shit. We're talking to fucking Allie Bennett, man. And you guys don't fucking be cool. Don't fuck with her. She's going through a lot of shit. She'll give you readings, but get in line. And wait for the patient. She's got a lot of stuff going on. But if people want readings from you, if they want, obviously they can follow your page. You're always doing giveaways, and you did the Christmas thing, which Heather won one of them, which is awesome.
Yeah, so cool.
That was cool. But people can find your Facebook page, Allie the Psychic Medium. Pretty simple, ALLIE. And they can message you there for readings, right?
Yes. So I manually schedule all of my appointments. So if there's anybody that's interested in a medium reading or psychic reading or whatever it may be, you can just reach out to me there and I'll take care of you.
You pull cards and stuff too? What's your whole,
So I do mediumship, which is communicating with passed on loved ones. And I do psychic readings, which is bringing people, like guidance on their current issues or the issues that they might face in the future and how to navigate them. I don't like to say that I predict the future because I don't feel like anybody can perfectly predict the future because the future is never set. It's not certain. It's always changing. So I usually tell my clients that I'm not giving you exactly what's going to happen. I'm telling you the things that can happen if you do XYZ. And I just think
interfere and throw things off. Oh yeah,
exactly. I mean, yes. Yeah. And smart. I also offer tarot readings. Those are more for, you know, like smaller concerns, or if you want something that's a little more spiritual-esque, because my psychic readings are very raw and transparent, and I don't bullshit anything. I tell you exactly as I feel it. My tarot readings are definitely more spiritually based. So a lot more work with like energies and whatnot. As far as the other services I offer, I do spirit guide communication. I can communicate with your spirit guides for you and tell you everything about them and make a picture of what they look like too, so that you have that connection with them. I also offer past life readings as well too, because I think it's really important that we're all in touch with who we used to be to avoid repeating, you know, patterns and cycles from our, you know, previous lives. But yeah, I love everything about my job. It is beautiful. It can be exhausting, but it's worth it. I just love all of it.
Oh, and that's why your sunflowers love you, man. I want to go a little bit longer. We're having fun, man. I got nothing to do. I got a buzz.
Absolutely.
Where did you come
up with helping me a lot?
Good. I see it in your face. You're lighting up. At first, you're a nervous chick. I get it, dude, because
I am. Yes.
I get it. But when you got it,
yes,
you're nervous because it's different. Man, when you're phony, it's no problem. I've noticed that with people. I can see through fucking the horse shit. But I don't want to down people. She's done a past review for me. It was amazing. Oh, Heather was fucking excited.
Keep my spirit guide busy. Me too.
I bet, Linda. Tap dancing. So, okay, we've done bucket lists. What's a couple of your faves? What's a couple of your local haunts? Or you a certain cemetery you like, or town?
My childhood home. I don't talk about this very often, but the house that I grew up in later in my life, so I think I was about 7 when we moved into this house. It was like a newer house in an area you would not think is haunted. And that house, I am still convinced to this day, is like a gateway to somewhere dark because of all of the things that we experienced. Yeah, that's definitely one of them. I'd say the other ones would be the Bartonville State Hospital. I love the history of that place, and I'm really sad that they tore it down. But at the same time, I feel like all of those spirits that were stuck there are finally able to like move on from life. Not that we ever really get stuck, but that we can be really attached to what was. And especially with the way that they passed there, I feel like it not being there anymore really helped them be able to move on spiritually. So, but yeah, I love the history of that place and the TB ward that was attached to it too. It's some of my favorite places to go, honestly.
Most people are like, yeah, you know, I like to go to Florida, maybe go to
not me. Ward. Yep, exactly. Yeah.
But that's where your life, it's not just your work, but it's your life, your craft, so to speak.
Yes.
That's where it just comes to play. I mean, that's like the battleground, man. Have you been to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania?
I have not. I've always wanted to, but I've been obsessed with Gettysburg since I was younger, and I loved like researching everything about it. But yeah, I've always wanted to go there.
Oh man, you probably fucking break down. Gotta go, Alex. I'll reach out to you. I want to have you on sometime, Alex. You're good shit. Been friends with you for a while. I'll have you on. Yes, you're welcome. Let's see. Yeah, there's nothing like your home. It's funny you say your number one place is your childhood home, because that's where you had your memories. That's where you had your awakening. That's where you kind of do.
Yeah, and we also had a lot of like really negative like energies and stuff in that house. Like, for example, there's a shadow person that's been attached to our family for like generations and generations that will just like randomly pop in, and anytime that he does, it's almost like an omen for something bad that's coming, whether it's somebody that's going to die or whatever it might be. He'll just pop up. And the reason that stumps me so much is because I've never, like, other than him, had issues communicating with any sort of spirit at all whatsoever. But I don't know what he is. I don't know what he wants. I don't know where he came from. I have so many different like conspiracies about it, because I know that he's aware It's not like he's just standing there. Like, he's aware of what he's doing. And when I was younger in that home, he chased me up the stairs, but he was chasing me away from something that was going to be really awful. So it's hard for me to figure it out because there are parts of me and my sisters too that are terrified of the idea of that. And then on the other hand, I'm not scared of him because I just want to know what he wants. It's this whole thing. But I've experienced as equally, dark things as I have positive things with this stuff. I don't talk about the dark things very often. And it's not that I don't want to, I just don't want people to think that because those things exist, that's all that it is, because it's not. It's when you die, you are still you. And you are still a person. It's just like if you would approach a stranger and talk to a stranger, that's how spirits are. So that, human idea is not gone. It's still there. But I think when people get mixed up with like the demonic stuff and whatnot, they forget that spirits are not just that. Or, the people that are terrified of it and think that's all that it is. So I think that's a huge reason as to why I don't talk about the dark experiences I've had, because I don't want people to think that's going to happen to them or whatever it might be.
That's fair. I mean, even though you can't help it in life, but that's fair. That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, it is. It is tough because I want to talk about it. I just don't know how to approach it yet because there was so much that happens. Like, for example, I don't know. Do you know who Rob Conover is? He was a really, really, really popular paranormal investigator. He passed away, but he actually came to that house that I was mentioning that I grew up in to investigate with his entire team. He was on Ghost Adventures, I believe, for like an episode.
Shit.
But he even felt the presence of that there. And I'll share a little bit of a dark experience I had at this time. So when he came to the house to walk through, he knew a little bit about what was happening, but not everything. But he hit the nail on the head with everything that he picked up. And this was my first time being around a psychic, even not knowing I was one. So it was really cool to watch how he did that and whatnot. But he got up into my room and he was like, there's this thing up by your attic. That's where they all come from. And I knew that he meant like the dead people. That's where they come from. They're coming from my closet into my room. But there was also something dark that was in our house. And I still don't know what it was. But when he was there, he randomly looked at me while we were upstairs and was like, you need to run downstairs because this thing's going to attack you. And I was terrified. Like, I didn't even feel like I could move. Oh. And when I went to move, I felt something come up behind me and grab me and pick me up off the ground. And when I looked down at the hands that were grabbing me, they looked like animal-like, kind of like if you could imagine a ram with hands, that's kind of what it looked like. And to this day, I still don't know what it was, why it was there, or anything like that. It never, bothered me again after that, but it's terrifying and I'll never forget that.
Wow, that sounds like something out of a fucking movie. That sounds like a poltergeist or something. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like a Wendigo poltergeist. Like,
yeah.
Wow. Is this house still standing?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Is there family living in it? Yeah.
There is. And I actually have a crazy story about that. And I have to be careful about how much I talk about it just because, I want to respect the people that live there as privacy.
Oh, right. You won't go with the address or nothing, right?
Yeah. So basically, me and my husband went to a pool that's about 15 minutes from where we live. And while we were there, I saw the current owners of the house I used to live in. And I knew what they looked like because I had driven by in my old house a few times just to I just wanted to see it again.
I've been there a couple times in old apartments.
Yeah, right. You just want to remember sometimes, or you want to work past something.
On the corner, so I can go.
Exactly. Yeah. But I had seen the children outside playing, so I recognized them, and I recognized the parents because they were always outside with the kids, and the vehicle that was in the driveway. And so when we went to the pool, I saw the vehicle and I was like, that would be so weird if that's them because they're living in the house that I used to live in and had all these experiences in. And so we get in the pool. Exactly. We get in the pool. I'm in the pool. AJ is swimming with Iris and the little girl comes up to me and I can't remember what she said, but I remember it struck me as that's a weird thing to say, but I wasn't offended. It was just strange. And then I just didn't really think anything of it until it dawned on me, like, that's the little girl that lives in my old house. Well, I overheard her talk to her sister, who was also in the pool with like their little friend, about how the house is creepy and that there's something in their bathroom that turns their light on and off. Well, the bathroom that me and my sister shared is the same one I think that they're talking about. The light turned on and off by itself all the time. And I was like, that's insane. Like, this can't be real. This cannot be happening. And I saw the parents sitting over on the side of the pool too. And I was like, it's them. That's them. And I remember that, like, her dad came over to her because he overheard her talking about like the scary stuff happening in the house. And he's like, you can't talk about that stuff. Like, and I was like, this is insane. And I like got over to AJ as quickly as I could. I'm like, you're not going to believe anything I'm going to tell you, but this whole thing just happened. And it was
dude,
insane.
Things are drawn to you, bro. Like that.
Yeah, I feel like I will always have this like weird attachment to that house. And it's not that I want it, because I don't, because there's so many bad things that happened in that house, whether it was spiritual or not. But it's like, I can't let go of it. And I don't know why. And it's deeper than like I need therapy to let go of it, because I have done therapy for years and I've worked past the traumatic attachment to it. Now it's just something else that won't let me let go of it. And I don't know if it's that or what it is, but it's wild.
To you or linked to you or
yeah,
something
absolutely.
about that fucking. Do you know any history? Do you know when it was built? Someone was saying something about 1800s house. Maybe it's something there.
It was not that old. If I had to guess when the house was built, I would honestly say like the early 2000s, because it was like a newer house. So it wasn't anything like you would think of when you think of a haunted house. It was something new.
The land, especially
like my house now is older than that house. Yeah, exactly. And the place that this is located at, there are a lot of native lands around. There's an Indian burial ground that's at the bottom of a hill that you have to go up to get to where we lived. And it also used to be a swamp. The neighborhood that we lived in, it used to be a swamp. So I know that energies can attach to water and like repeat, history through water, like because it holds on to the residual energy
element.
But I think it's a combination of all of that just put together that really just made that like a gateway to everything at the same time.
When everything's put just right, man, especially like, dude, that area is Native American central. It's funny,
yes.
Heather, if you're watching still, don't be mad, but me and Heather did a historical ghost hunt in Moultonboro, Massachusetts. It was the Oliver House. Benjamin Franklin went there to have tea and found notes of treason in a closet, and it started the Revolutionary War.
Wow, that's insane.
Oh yeah, people have hung themselves there. People have killed themselves there. There's a Native American burial on the out back burial ground. Heather and I went out back and smoked a joint while everybody else was inside. We went on the burial ground, and Heather got a tick on her tit right in the top corner.
Oh no! Oh no!
When you said Native American burial ground, I go, uh-oh. So sorry, baby, but
that's funny. That's cute.
But think about it, right? Jim Brown, what's up? Tombstone Paranormal checking in. That's older than civilization. Pilgrim graves is Native American. Mounds, grounds.
Mm-hmm.
There may be something tied to that house that's not quite.
Yeah, something. It's just always like there's this picture of me as a child, because the funny thing is the street that this house was on, we lived on the street before we moved to this house too. We lived in a duplex that was at the end of the street, and the house was 3 houses down from the duplex we lived in. There's a picture of me and my mom standing behind me of the house in the background while we're standing in the driveway of the duplex, like on my first day of school. And I just randomly found that picture a few months ago, and it just like hit me so deep, because it was so eerie to see that like we didn't even know what we're getting ourselves into. We had no idea what that house really was like on the inside. And to just see that like that, the foreshadowing was just, it comes up everywhere all the time. Like it's always there, like haunting me. And I don't know why. I have dreams about it all the time. It's just like, and it's always like who I am now, not who I was before. It's just wild. Like, it really is. I really hope that someday I can go back there and just like get rid of whatever is in there, just end it forever so that nobody else has to deal with what we had to deal with. And it like was a lot like Amityville horror kind of a thing. And I'm not exaggerating that at all. My sisters, they remember everything. It was just like awful.
You need closure. You need closure. You need to end this. You need to you're not going to be able to live without this.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is your Venom. You're Spider-Man. This is Venom. It's time for you to take the fucker down.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's the best way.
It was horrible. Preach. Oh, Jim, just jumping in. Jim Brown, Don Brown. Do you feel it's part of you? Thank you for a question, Jim. We got 14 people watching, and we got one question. Appreciate it.
I definitely feel that it's always going to be a part of me because I learned so much from, everything I experienced. Like, I wasn't super into the paranormal, even though I had experiences that were paranormal, until stuff started happening in the house. And I felt like me and my family were basically left alone with this because nobody believed us. It wasn't something you could talk about like you can talk about now.
In 10, 15 years ago.
Exactly. And so it was terrifying. And on the outside, this house was just a beautiful, normal American house. But on the inside, it was like poltergeist. And so that inspired me to want to learn more and understand why all of these things happen. And then that made me more aware, which made my abilities stronger, which then everything just kind of came together. So in some aspects, it made me who I am. Molded, so it will always be a part of me. Yeah.
Wow. Impressive. With about 4 minutes left to go, Allie, is there anything we can talk about? Anything we can say? How about this? What do you plan to see yourself this year? Do you see yourself doing a lot more, maybe live events on Facebook, maybe in person, your own standings, Paracons, meet and greets?
I would love to have more meet and greets. I'm definitely aiming for doing live events again. And just to like educate people on being a medium and, things of that nature, to let people ask questions and get the answers that they need. And then I would love, love, love to jump outside of my comfort zone and try more in-person things like conventions and whatnot. And as long as you're there, I'll go.
I will make sure it's me. I will look out your best interest. And we'll see what we can't do. And we'll start local for now. And when I say local, I don't mean me. I mean for you. I'll try to look for events in Illinois, something where you can be home at the end of the night. Not so much.
Awesome.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
We'll work to it. And I'll get you, and if I can't get out there and do it and use it as a fucking tax write-off as a client, then I'll try to figure out. AJ will be my eyes away. AJ will keep it. So that's
absolutely.
So that's good.
Absolutely.
Oh, what's up, Brooke from the one of my first clients from the Wildwood Sanatorium in upstate New York. Hello, Brooke.
Hi.
Hope all is well. Everybody checking in. Oh, I appreciate you, Linda. You're a sweetheart. Always sending me things of Pennywise and fucking Stephen King. I appreciate you and John immensely. Thank you.
So do I.
And Allie does. I know Father Ken Torres does. A lot of people.
Yes. Oh, I love him. I would love if we could do a live with him sometime, because I have so many questions that I want to ask him, like just to pick his brain, because we used to be, Christian. So one of the reasons I left that faith was just because of how, much it contradicted itself, especially when it came to like having abilities, because when you really look at it, it seems like, Jesus and his disciples were, connected to something greater than we were, obviously, and they were able to receive messages and, talk to angels and all of that stuff. So I don't understand why the Bible says, that's okay, but the Bible says that talking to the dead is not, because technically in some of those ways and matters, his disciples were like mediums. They were able to pick up on things that were given to them from heaven and whatnot. So I just think like, I have so many things that I want to ask and I want to know. And he does such a good job speaking about, everything.
Jesus was a spiritual healer. He was you. He was, and he was crucified for that.
Yeah. And there's a lot of things that like Jesus, I'm not saying I'm Jesus or, anything like that, but there's a lot of things I relate to, that, how he had so many ways that he wanted things to go. And, people took it and they would ruin it because they would be selfish, or, the opposite, where all he wanted to do was help, and he wanted to bring light and good things. And, I think we all want to try to be like Jesus in that regard, but there's so much to it that I relate to too, with the bad, where everything that he tried to do was destroyed and then ended up being, crucified for the things that he loved most, which
you're a recovering Catholic.
Relate to that too.
You're a recovering Catholic.
Yes. Yes.
You know what's funny? Not to change the subject. I know you got a point, but Mary Nason, I'll send you a picture of her, and if you're ever coming to Maine, I'll bring you to her grave. York, Maine, named after Yorkshire, England. It's Maine's oldest town. It's in the bottom of Maine, right by Orchard Beach in Portland. She was killed at 28 years old for being an herbalist and an exorcist. Yeah.
Oh,
and her grave, it's statue. She's got like her breast, and it's got like a thing of her eyes, and it's a 3-inch concrete slab above her grave in the old York burying ground, where in Candlemas Day in 1691 they had a big fight in Indians and stuff. And she's buried there, dude. And above her grave, there's Bacardi and there's bracelets and there's fucking you name it. And me and my mom got a picture on it, and one of her eyes turned red, and I got a picture of that, and I'll send it to you before.
Wow, that's
pretty wild. And that's what it reminds me of. It's kind of something like you would be, no offense, but yeah, man, I think you're breaking barriers because I think men dominated the field as far as psychics and mediums and all these.
I agree with you. Yeah.
And like, no one takes girls seriously. Let's face it. But I think Heather has got a lot of gifts, and she understands it but doesn't. So she may have some questions for you too, but you seem to have it down packed. But I think you're still learning, right?
Oh yeah, everybody that does what I do, whether you've done this for 30 years or you've done this for 2, you are always learning. That's the key, is you can never stop learning, because with working with something like the universe that's infinite and it never ends, there's always something to learn no matter what. So absolutely.
Heather said yesterday, what if it starts raining lava? Are we going to go, well, this isn't scientifically possible, so it's not happening? No, it's fucking happening. We don't have the answers for everything.
We don't. And I think that's what the problem is with, society now, is we think that we know everything because we have this that tells us that we do. And that's not the case. We don't know everything. And
Google says it may be a wart.
Exactly.
No,
exactly.
I think, and honestly, dude, like me moving up to here where I live, where there's like 1,200 people in my town, and there's wild rabbits, and I can see Mount Katahdin from where my front door for the most part. It's scary at times because it's ungodly quiet, and I'm 3 hours away from Heather. But at the same time, man, it's a different vibe up here, and I feel it's wild. And I don't know where I was going with this, but it's just very. You get in tune with things, and you've been in tune with this your whole life. I think where you live is that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm having a blast. The Wi-Fi is keeping up. The squirrels must be running in the thing. That's good. We're gonna go an extra about 5 minutes, guys. Check out Allie Bennett, Living with the Dead. Her new book coming out. You expect that out probably by September?
I would say it'll probably be out about July. That's my goals to have it out by then. I'm still actively writing it right now, but I'm so excited for its release, and I was so appreciative of the support and the love that I got from everybody for my book, because that was a really big jump for me, and it was something I always wanted to do. So I was so excited to offer that knowledge that I have to everybody else.
I'm going to, yes, that is exciting, Linda says, Allie. Absolutely, yes. It is. I'm going to have questions. Allie's donated money. Her and her whole family are going to be sponsored in my book. I'm halfway through it. I keep getting stuck, and it's a biography, and I'm fucking just like, I don't know what to do. It's like stage
It's hard. It is. It's hard.
It's not easy.
It is not. Yeah, it's not, because you want to make sure that the idea of you aligns with who you really are. And that can be really difficult to describe, because sometimes you don't know what that is, and it's difficult.
You could have built 2 houses on the papers I've thrown away of the stuff that I've written.
I get it. Trust me.
So that's cool, because you've donated, and you and AJ and Iris are going to be in it. Is it going to be available on Amazon? Jim Brown from Tombstone Paranormal and Stowe.
It will be. It will.
Jim and Dawn are very good people. I've known Jim and Dawn. I've done events with them. They're part of the team. They're with us. They're clients. He will support you. Good shit. Tombstone
Thank
Paranormal.
You so much. Right
He's
back
like
at
you,
you.
Allie.
I
He
will
likes
support you
history.
too.
No,
That's
the knowledge.
Awesome.
So what do you yeah, I'm gonna milk 6 minutes out of you. Why not?
Go ahead.
Let me see. What can I ask you that's gonna be fun? Did I ever ask you movies? I did, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me ask you something fun. Oh, what's your favorite movie killer?
Oh. This is like a fictional character?
Like, give me yes. I mean, okay, give me your favorite serial killer and your favorite, like, Mike Myers, Jason, fucking Pennywise.
I love Pennywise. He's always been one of my favorites just because of how deep that character is and how just like the fear that we put out, manifests into something like that, and how he can use that against you. Like, it just really teaches you to, like, not project your fear and to work past it instead. I loved the second, like the newest I loved the second one when they were yelling at him and telling him, like, you're small and you're this and you're that, fuck you, and all of that. I loved that. That was so cool.
It's a metaphor. It's getting rid of that inner demon in you and telling you, go in your hole. You can't control me. And
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I would say for, like,
not that you love them, not that you love Ted Bundy, but, like, what's your most
exactly
inspired?
I would say one of them that, like, kind of, I would say their story is just, it's so hard to have the right word for this because I don't want to sound like I support a serial killer or anything like that, because obviously I do not. But their brains are fascinating because their brains, there's something wrong with them, obviously, to be the way that they are. And I think the psychology of that is fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if I would have went down the path to be a psychic medium, I would have went to criminal psychology because it fascinates me. I would say Jeffrey Dahmer, probably, not because I like him or anything like that, but just how insane that entire thing is just, there's so much to it. I would say that, or Gypsy Rose. And I don't like Gypsy Rose, like, as a whole. I know it's controversial and whatever, but
the whole
there are reasons I don't.
Movie.
Yes. Yeah. It's disgusting in an intriguing way to watch how those people just, like, put those masks on and can just manipulate someone like that, like she did. And that's what I believe. But yeah, it's just the whole, everything with the psychology behind criminal things just really fascinates me.
And half these fuckers live in population. They live in apartment buildings and complexes and trailer parks and shit. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
It's like they live in the woods in a metal hut or something,
Exactly. And I think the thing that is important that we all learn as a society from those stories is that we need to learn why people become that way, and we need to fix that when it's happening. Like Jeffrey Dahmer with the abusive parents and that whole entire situation that he had that made him become what he was, or the fact that, like, he was made fun of for being gay and whatever. Does that give him an excuse? Absolutely not. But it just shows as a society, we fail a lot of people, which then ends up causing more people to die because we don't get the issue by the roots. And I hope that that's something we all can learn from when we see stuff like that. It's not to, say that they did a good job, because they didn't, but at the same time, society failed those people, and that's why they were the way that they are.
Right now, the massive number of suicides and fucking murder victims and just hate, it's just poverty. There's fucking homeless shelters everywhere you look. There's tents. I go to Bangor, there's tents everywhere. You go to the Barons are and it and stuff. You go to Lover's Leap and there's fucking 35 tents there. I go there and I bring a loaf of bread and throw it to the guy. You know what I mean? What do you do? It's Allie used to have a Freddy Krueger claw and Jason mask on her bedroom wall. That's dope.
Yeah.
I get my type of chick. I got a frag thing back here. Krampus and Pennywise together. Yes, that's a fucking threesome.
Oh my goodness.
That's fucking Heather loves Krampus. Oh my god, she's all about it.
Yes, that's fascinating too. I love the history of that. It's really cool.
That's a good folklore. So Allie Bennett, it's been an hour and a half. We got a minute to go, so I'm going to end it. This is going to be on YouTube tomorrow, guys. Historically Haunted. People can find you, Allie, the Psychic Medium, on Facebook. Your personal page is your personal page. But Allie, the Psychic Medium, is where people can do readings and get a hold of you, your books and stuff, Amazon and stuff. Any last words before I pull the switch?
Just thank you to everyone that's continued to support me, yourself, Adam, and thank you for having me here tonight. And I just really appreciate all of you. And I hope that you know that if it weren't for you, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. And I love all of you so much. Thank you.
She fucking means it, guys. I got a reading with her 2 days from now, and she's one of the very best in the field that there is. Very modest. Check out Allie, the Psychic Medium. ALLIE. For those of you listening, not watching, be a sunflower. You won't